Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. This may not be our big stream today, I'm a little bit on the sick side. But hopefully it will go well enough. I don't know why, I think I'm just having trouble staying hydrated today. Right now, the outside heat index, right now outside where I'm living at, it's 94 degrees, like 50% humidity, with the heat index being around 100. So, I think I'm just having trouble with being hydrated. So maybe if I drink a bit more fluids during the stream, I should be fine, hopefully. By the way, give me a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Looks like everything's starting on up. Let me activate the macros and activate the chat windows. Sadly as well, one of the channels I like to follow, SaveAFox, big surprise, Fox person likes to watch SaveAFox. Sadly, the owner has passed away. It's a bit of a bummer as well. What a great way to start the stream. Finding out one of the channels you'd love to watch on occasion is, yeah. Either way, looks like everything is starting on up. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything's good to go. I'll just get my drink opened up. We're in the right spot. And let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and right here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawned as the Jade Sun Javier, we got Step 6 Cyril, I think. Spawned north side as the Gray Sky Olaf, we got X Old Man. This map is a Fog of War map with an airport and 3 bases, so perhaps not too many battle copies of this map. It does have a strong side, weak side mechanic. After all, there's 2 bases down this side. This is a whole bunch of sea tiles there with some rivers there and rivers this way, so infantry can support up north. But overall, there's just only 1 base on this side, and it'll be slow going there. We got an early APC by Javier. There is also a seaport here, so you can go for a bit of lander play to push in the center there. But I don't think I really see that, not even a black boat for pushing infantry. It's just not too far of a distance. It definitely does help out. After all, just take a look at this path here. You got the base and then movable tiles there into a river there, so it's not traversable up north this way, all else through infantry. So the only way you can get out vehicles in the center is if you go around. But even then, it will take a bit of time to get to the center, but not too long. Got 2 tanks now pulled out by Olaf. Javier has one as first tank. Double recon by Javier. Javier does have increased indirect defense. The more I see Javier play, the more I realize how powerful this actually is. I didn't realize something as well. When I highlight it, it doesn't exactly reveal everything. So if I would adjust my screen like this, there we go. Something I should have realized a long time ago. But I know we all know Javier as the column tower specialist, where he gets plus 10% defense per column tower as well as plus 10% offense. But as games start going on and on, I find a bit more appreciation for the indirect fire defense. It really does add up, especially when you get 1 guaranteed column tower on this map. So they have a plus 3% defense and pretty much the planes, so effectively a total plus 40% defense. Start actually adding up when indirect, making the point where for most situations, indirects are actually not really feasible. Olaf does not have access to decent artillery thanks to the indirect defense. And let's see, let me just pull up the CO chart as well. Does that increases by 30% up to 40% per power and superpower? I always forget. Let's see, there he is. It does increase up to plus 40%, and then with a superpower, plus 80%, effectively making them bulletproof versus indirects. He's also one of the few defense COs in the game, which, honestly, there's not too many defense COs other than technically Sturm. Also, sort of not really. He's like the opposite of Grim. Does get a first strike there, interrupts the capture. There's got multiple tanks here. Does have 3 tanks in total. Javier does have 3 tanks, but likely if Olaf goes for this recon there, he will be first shot against. And there we go, does hit the recon there. The recon's still alive, can just fall back to the forest to just get some good spotting, or just charge forward for more spotting. But looks like Javier will get the first strike on the tank conflict. He could double tap one tank. He may well tap this tank as well, but both of these on 3-star defense. He does have additional defense. Both players have 1 comm tower. I'm not sure how effective all the extra defense will be. Guess we'll find out soon enough. And looks like just bring his tanks up into forward ambush positions. You could see this tank, but it's currently out of vision range at the moment. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like Javier is just prepping for more of his tanks for a better position. He does pull back this one way over here. Probably seeing these tanks down here wants extra defense. He does have artillery and tank down here, as well as multiple tanks and now anti-air. Good time for anti-air, but this map is quite large, so he may need to get anti-air for both sides, which he actually does. So very nice. Olaf has gotten his own anti-air out, though Javier has not deployed any battlecopters just yet. And now looks like Olaf is grouping up all 5 of his tanks in this region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this tank could get double tapped, and some of these tanks could receive first shots as well. So Javier does have good vision on majority of tanks, does not see these 2 tanks here, even though they are in range. Does spot this tank there, so could get a first strike onto it. Focus from the plains first, where he has vision over that area. Does see this tank down here as well, just missing vision on this tank. But it'll be a little bit risky to charge for the tanks, as I mentioned, and decides not to, which is probably a good idea. Yep, he decides to fall back on his properties, position them all ready. And I decided being hyper aggressive, which is perfectly fine for now. Medium tank, tank, and infantry. Both players now deployed out a medium tank. Anti-air battlecopter, a tank, and infantry. Javier does have 24,000. He could go for Neo Tank and 2 infantry this turn as a possibility. Javier to go for anti-air battlecopter infantry tank. So Neo Tank would be quite nice. Of course, with Cast of Visions, he's creeping his way forward. Artillery, providing some cover for the artillery piece. Not for artillery piece, for the tank. So as his 2 health recon there, you can always charge forward for sacrificial lamb, just get some good spotting. I think he also there scout out the forest there by running over just to make sure it's actually unoccupied. Just in case. Lander, so Javier has pulled out a lander. Or tried to forward deploy units into the middle of the map likely. And with that lander that he could go for medium tanks in the middle of the map. And apologies. A little bit sick at the moment. Get some strikes there, not on this tank there. Takes out the recon, which is nice. Puts some rounds into the APC. It goes down. Minor loss overall. Artillery piece is in range at least of this infantry unit. Only that infantry unit. And we almost see a tower shield. You could pop that for additional +10/+10 global. Additionally, you get a +10/+10% global, and improves indirect defense by +20% additional. But his opponent has no indirect because Javier just inherently nullifies indirects to a decent degree, which really dissuades their deployment whatsoever. Does put some good damage there on that infantry there. Tank on tank, he doesn't go for it. He has tower shield, but he's not popping it. He maybe on skip some power charge before he does. He could double tap that tank without needing the power charge. And he may just not pop this turn. I don't see anything that would suggest he should pop it this turn. Tank should, medium tank should probably head to the city, or maybe... Yeah, can't reach the forest there, so just onto the city. Just try to keep away the vision range of the recon, which he does. Overall, this medium tank is in a counterattack position. No power. We may... Well, I won't say a power from Olaf, let's be blunt. The only time you ever really possibly even see powers by Olaf is in case your opponent has gone for a huge swell of aircraft, so it's probably better on a 2-base map rather than a 3-base map. Tank. Has still 9,000 funds, but probably won't see a battlecopter this turn. This battlecopter is pretty straightforward. Infantry. So saves a bit of fun there. Javier has 25,000. Infantry and artillery for deploy. Does sack the infantry and the recon there to interrupt the capture. Probably should have done with the infantry, not with the recon. Now trying to capture the property itself. Likely, if Javier deploys his power and/or superpower, his Olaf will probably follow up with a Wounded Fury. I doubt Olaf will get his Wounded Fury before Javier's Tower of Power. Has 30,000 funds in the field. Are we going to see a Mega Tank this turn? And when it comes to Javier, Tower Shield will give him +10/+10 global. Tower Shield will give him +20% global. It may actually be a bit better to go for his power rather than the superpower, due to the fact that he will still get a +10/+10 factoring power and or superpower. So I'm thinking power may be the way to go for Javier at this point in time, unless he really needs the extra firepower. It may be best to go for regular power and keep his power charge up to go follow up with another power. But that's just a hazardous guess at the moment. Oh. Did my Twitch stream go offline? I'll worry about that later. Infantry is pulled back. Infantry, recon, and Neo Tank. So Javier has bought a Neo Tank. Olaf has a good amount of funds still on the map. Maybe a full bomber wouldn't be half bad. There we go. Looks like Twitch just had a bit of a hiccup. I think. Or maybe not. I'm not sure. Just the unit starts to push away forward, gaining position. Yeah, looks like it's working fine. It's just like my Twitch stream went down for a moment. I'm not sure what happened there. not like many people watch my Twitch stream either way when it comes to Advance Wars by Web. But Javier's just creeping his way forward as well. They're both set up to the front line. Javier does have more force on the field. Of course, he is player 1. So they're pretty even at the moment. Neo-tank infantry, so Olaf has pulled out multiple Neo-tanks now. Load up the artillery piece, could go for something a bit more expensive there. Maybe a medium tank, be a bit able to push it forward a little bit easier. Battlecopter infantry tank, so yeah, infantry is a little bit not as expensive as expecting. And recon down south, saving 5,000 funds to bank. Oh, tower shield. I was not expecting that. That's the end of the turn. End pop power shield end of turn. So he's trying to creep forward with the effects of defense for attack. That's interesting. I don't like that. Let's see how well he can withstand. He's going to take a first strike, and he's not going to get any power charge this turn. He has a decent amount of chunk for a tower shield. Sacks the cruiser there, the 1 HP cruiser. And Olaf just repositioned forces. Tank infantry in here. And it looks like Olaf's going to let his opponents get that tower shield active. And looks like I'm getting a bit of audio issues. My apologies. Strikes the unit down there. Good shot there. And yeah, that tower shield was completely and utterly worthless. He was trying to creep forward, lure his opponent into an attack so he can do a stronger counterattack. Got a Neo-tank here, so both sides have 2 Neo-tanks at the moment. And a medium tank. Oh, Olaf does have 2 medium tanks at the moment. Here, and a bit of a strike there, but he will tally upon, so not a great strike there by Olaf. Tank infantry anti-air. Good strike there. Battlecopter, recon, tank, infantry. Does get trapped there. Got a rocket now pulled out by Olaf there. And I think I know what's calling on with the audio bug. I did disable autoplay when it comes to YouTube, and I'm wondering if that's causing issues with by web. So may need to try changing that. I had this issue in the past, but switching extensions, extension something, I forget what it's called, extension managers, did fix the issue, but sort of popping up. Got another fighter deploying the field. Afraid of any bombers, though still be a perfectly fine asset against battlecopters, which have to kill all 3 battlecopters to pay for itself. We do have almost a Winter Fury available. Olaf could charge forward to pop it, and that will give him a great position able to pop off Winter Fury ahead. In fact, I think this Neo-tank striking this medium tank could give him Winter Fury. Winter Fury is not available. He should pop it immediately. He has no reason to hold on to it. And he does not pop his Winter Fury. Sure, give him +10/+10, but The global damage is incredibly powerful, but both sides are just set on up. Javier may need to go super aggressive this turn. Problem is, they're just at a little bit too far range. He has to creep forward a space or two and try to push forward. He's going to charge forward, picks off some outlying units. I don't think Javier is in a great position right now. He's picking out some units up here, but overall he is charging forward, pops the tower shield for the increased defense. Of course, that can be mitigated a little down a little bit by Blizzard. And there's Winter Fury. And here comes the counterattack. Of course, Javier will get no power charge this turn. He almost has enough for a tower shield, so he may be able to pop another tower shield next turn. Gets a good strike up there. Hits the medium tank. Medium tank finish off medium tank. Infantry gets, of course, picked off. Neo tank strikes artillery piece. Got 2 more artillery in the back line. Of course, this one's top of forest. This one will barely stay alive. Won't be really effective. Probably double tap the Neo tank there, or could strike the anti-air back here and make sure his battle copter is a bit more free range. Still, these 2 anti-airs in the back line. Makes a good headway. Rocket creeps his way forward. Tank, recon, anti-air. And I think Javier has this turn to turn the game around. He has right now 27,000. Olaf's at 208. Wait, no, other way around. Olaf has 277,000. Javier's at 108. So he has this turn to turn the game around, which he does have 2 full health Neo tanks to help out. And he has a vision of both his opponent's Neo tanks right now. Probably try to get as much power charge down here. Try to get a tower shield as soon as he can. Pop the tower shield. The 3 kills does give some free power charge, of course. Counterattack is being quite effective. 8-hole fire should still be able to take out some battlecopters. Recon infantry tank and pops tower shield in turn for the extra defense to blunt his opponent's counterattack. Good strikes there. Neo tank strikes Neo tank, but it's still the full health Neo tank here. Blizzard's now available. Javier has taken a bit of a beating, down to 153,000 versus Olaf's 122, 124. And this our rocket is getting pretty good range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if he somehow tries to attack the medium tank of a Neo tank, it will be hit by a rocket. Neo tank gets finished off. I think the rocket will strike a Neo tank next turn. Winter Fury is almost available again. It is available. That can be devastating right now. He has a lot of wounded units on the field, so it'll be more than 20% damage. Takes out the anti-air with the Neo tank. Not sure if that's a great choice. Does use the 5 health Neo tank to hit the medium tank. And has popped tower shield. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. And here comes the Winter Fury again. Javier has 176, Olaf has 165. Got called down 131. Finish some 1 health tanks there. Finish off the 2. Oh, does not finish off that tank there. Power shields, extra defense come handy. And the rocket did have plus minus 40% firepower there. So the rocket damage was blunted. So we got 6 self-artillery piece here to strike the 5 health medium tank as well. Anti-air infantry recon battlecopter. And start for 179,000 versus starting out with 93. So Javier's in a very bad position right now. When it comes to income, he does have 3,000 more income. And he has hit the resign button. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching. My apologies for the lack of sound issues. And on to next replay. Give me a moment to fix some settings. There we go. Maybe that will fix the issue. In the meantime, give me a moment to check my Twitch stream. It seemed like it was bugging out a little bit. Seems fine now. Maybe it was just not sure what was going on with it. By the way, on to next replay. Let's do not this one. This one's a little bit on the better side. The other one was just a little bit shorter. It's a good one to do a little bit later on. But give me a moment to address everything here. No, let's shrink this a little bit there. I think that's fine. Let me know if you guys want to see something on the other side a little bit bigger. This map just lives on the wide side. By the way, let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the bottom right side, it's a Silver Claw Eagle. We have a foreign name. So on top left side is the Gray Sky Kindle. We got X Old Man. This map is a triple base map with 2 bases right next to each other. There's a pipe scene that can be destroyed to get easier access to the center. In addition, there is an airport on the corner, so along next to a opposing recon, just provides some good scouting there, which does have a force of withdrawal on too. Additionally, there's also a black boat right here. It's mostly just come in to cause issues and to resupply this region. Both sides now pulled out recon. Drake, or not Drake, Eagle is, of course, the air specialist. His plus 30% attack, plus 10% defense of his air units, and his air units cost 2 less fuel per day, making his battlecopters consume no fuel per day. And of course, naval attack units will lose 30% attack, but it's not too important. Over here, Kindle is what I like to call the retaliation specialist. She does get plus 40% firepower when attacking from urbanized terrain, which I sort of like to say retaliation, because imagine this. There's a bit of tank engagements on top of a city. Your tank, Kindle's tank, is on top of the city. You receive a shot from opposing tank. You pull that tank back, put a fresh tank on the top of the city, and retaliate it, and probably one-shotting it in return. It now has 2 tanks, and overall this Eagle has a good number of recons. And a tank over here. Eagle's ground force is completely and utterly ordinary. Tank infantry. recon, tank, and possibly another infantry. Yep. Does get trapped there. Recon does not strike the recon. And this tank's pushing forward as well. And here's the thing as well. I said it was tank versus tank combat. But Kendall can pull back this infantry unit and then retaliate pretty hard with this tank there. This infantry unit could go onto the forest there for a bit of spotting. And there's retaliation. 7 damage right there, which I think is actually on the lower end of that. Give me a moment. Let's see, this, that's probably the best spot there. Nope, that's, the lowest end would be only doing 4 damage with a horrible luck roll. Well, you can see that's quite a bit of damage in your turn. Tank, infantry. Finish off that infantry there and strikes this infantry. And there as well. Tank, infantry. So more Eagle tanks. No battlecopter just yet. Kindle probably should be eyeing anti-air relatively soon. Probably this turn would be a good idea. Fighting against the Eagle, the chance of a battlecopter is very likely, but there is one there. In fact, she has pretty good vision spotting of it, so I'm sort of surprised she didn't kill with my anti-air last turn. Goes for her own battlecopter, which Eagle, of course, does scout that out with a recon. You have to use either a mech or an artillery piece to displace that recon there. Mech is probably the best way to go, since you can just simply get onto the mountain itself and fire into the forest that is possibly hidden there. Eagle does put the battlecopter next to his recon. Looks like he's going to try to finish it off with the battlecopter. We'll do half damage there. And Kindle will get her comm tower captured up this turn. Remember to do capture first. Does, before any fights. Get some good damage there. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry. Recon effectively gets knocked out, does get machine gun, that other recon gets knocked out as well. And Kindle's comm tower has been spotted, does get trapped in this tank there, allowing Eagle to get a first strike there. However, we've got multiple tanks here, and there as well. Probably just has vision of this tank there. After all, tanks do have a vision ring of 3. Yep, does spot the tank there. So should be able to tap both these tanks once. And of course, got this tank up here who can get on top of this property and retaliate for bonus damage as well. Feels like Kindle's in pretty good positions in this matchup, especially this turn. I'm expecting her to get a lot of good work done this turn. She could go from Urban Blight to get even more boosted damage, but I don't think it's particularly necessary at this moment. I can see her getting... does pop an Urban Blight. And now this tank should be able to one-shot that tank there. It has to roll a horrible luck roll, not get the one-shot. There's also nearby infantry to finish it off. Get some good hits there. Great gains there. Urban Blight wasn't really necessary other than knocking out this tank guaranteed. And of course a bit of attrition damage there. And in fact, we do see this Urban Blight did interrupt this comm tower and did strike this tank there among the other freshly built units. And it looks like also interrupt this capture here as well. Tank, infantry, recon. We won't see a lightning strike this turn. I doubt we're going to see a lightning drive ever. Tank infantry recon. She does manage to get down 2 health there, guaranteing he won't capture this next turn. And probably fully interrupted. Got a lot of supporting infantry nearby. 1 ATR to stop. And too far away from joining capture as well, so that capture will be fully stopped next turn. Infantry, anti-air, and battlecopter. Right now, Eagle starts turn 70,000. Kindle start ends turn 113, so she has an advantage about a day. Repairs that battlecopter there, but it's in range of its anti-air, which according to this, Eagle has full vision of the anti-air. That was probably not a good idea. Yeah, probably should place the battlecopter in the middle of the sea tiles, because that is a free pick for Kindle. That was a big oversight there. Of course, Kindle does not have vision of that exact spot there. I wonder if she will spot it, because that's a free battlecopter there. Doesn't spot it there, and nope, she did not spot it, so Eagle got very lucky there that she didn't move her infantry, well, to right here. Still has not spotted the battlecopter. Stealth. Ooh. Did not move that infantry whatsoever, so Eagle got lucky there. Could possibly see a lightning strike. I don't know if you can get enough energy power charge this turn for a lightning strike, because that is still 16,000 away, which is quite a bit, or 17 to 18. Kindle now has that stealth there. It's going to cause severe issues. Battlecopter gets a good strike on the battlecopter. She's got to be careful for a lightning strike this next turn. Chance of lightning strike of Eagle trying to go for lightning strike this turn is highly likely. Does camouflage the stealth. Tank, recon, APC to resupply the stealth. Did he just load up an infantry unit inside the black boat? I think there's an infantry loaded in the black boat. And not dropped off. Pipe Seam has 37 HP left. Battlecopter has 2 ammunition. So no lightning strike, just overall repositioning units. Eagle ends turn of 117. Kindle starts turn of 153. So she has a pretty sizable lead at the moment. Gets around into the black boat. Black boat does another shot there. Stealth pushing his way forward. Tank, infantry. Maybe battlecopter? Nothing. She saves 15,000, so she's maybe eyeing for something big next turn. Lightning strike is now available. Will be trying to go for it. Does not have too much spotting right now. Does get trapped there. Looks like he's not going for lightning strike. Just trying to get units forward. And Pipe Seam's now down 20 health. Thought he would have busted down by now. There's the recon there. Stealth. Pushes way forward. So no fight in the field. And he does not have enough income each turn to get out a fighter. So that stealth is going to have a lot of free reign. goes for another stealth, so Kindle's going for a large number of stealths. How nasty. We may or may not see a lightning strike course this turn. Recon spots relatively nothing. It's a good strike there. I think it's going for the lightning strike. Does spot the stealth right there. Of course, a high society is available. And here comes a lightning strike. Here comes a double turn. Does go for anti-air recon base skip. Paul can go for infantry. Strikes the battle copter with his wounded anti-air. Battlecruiser Creeper 4 do have an anti-air in this region. And this infantry unit does spot this battlecopter and does spot the captured squad there. Should go pop Urban Blight interrupted, or just sack the 4 health infantry in there. Should be able to get 1 point of damage. We should go for high society or a Urban Blight next turn. She does have more income at the moment. Right now she has 24 properties. Pops the Urban Blight. Right now she does have 135 on the field, which is quite nice. The lava's locked away in these stealths. Pull this infantry off the... Nope, can't get the stealth on top of the property there. So can't get the stealth on top of the property there. Get some damage there. It is getting pretty low on fuel. Rig or APC here. No fighter deployed by Eagle. And may not be able to go for one next turn. And having 2 stealths now on the field will warrant at least 1 fighter. Medium tank infantry. The APC does have to be a bit careful. Now there's 2 stealths in the field. Can't be throwing this APC away. It may be in range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get this resupplied starting next turn. And high society could really help those stealths out. Allow her to punch through some surgical strikes. Strikes a tank there and there. A lot of targets on top of that next to that city for a bit of a push off. But does need to make an opening here to get the ATC to the stealth. It will start one from 17 fuel down to 9 fuel. So it's consuming 8 fuel per turn. It can't move 1 tile before it crashes out of fuel. So if it were to stay right there and fire away, it will have 1 fuel remaining. How bold do you want to go for? The 7 health tank is also a decent target if she does want to go for that path. Self capture interrupts this, hits this unit on top of the comm tower. Capture is down to 5. Takes that unit there, does get resupplied. There's that infantry unit there. Another Urban Blight could be popped to hit this guy on top of the property. And Eagle has an upload fighter. Can of course counter the fighter with a high society stealth. I wonder. She won't one-shot a Eagle fighter with high society. Thought it would. Maybe he's on top of a property. Because if it gets on top of a property... Yeah, if it's a boost strike from a city, then it would. Kindle's turn has 21,000 in her bank. Is the recon not the anti-air? It's that anti-air for good damage. Tank, infantry. Kindle right now has 171,000 on the field. Eagle starts with 106. And Eagle had spent a lot of money on repairs this turn. 20,000 income with 13,000 bank starting out. Kindle does have still 12,000 in the bank. So she may be eyeing for another expensive asset. Of course, Kindle has to be aware that her opponent may be going for a fighter relatively soon. You can predict how far a fighter moves, because after all, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, excuse me, 7, 8. So it knows this the fighter could be along this diagonal. So keep away 8 tiles, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So stay away from this diagonal, and she should be fine. Of course, she can't really engage something out of that diagonal. Resupplies the APC there. Infantry unit does get interrupted there, trying to flip that property. Pops the Urban Blight. Which will strike, of course, some tanks and the... Well, it looks like triple tank in this recon. Doing quite a bit of attrition damage to turn things to it. A lot of blight upon these lands. And we've got the Black Boat next to the stealth there to get resupplied. Fighter is in range of stealth, of course this needs to identify, which can be a little bit difficult. Eagle Paw should move the stealth of the fighter last in case he does spot the stealth. I guess if you want to try hunting for stealths and submarines, you should move the counter unit last in case you may run into it and spot it. Does pull back the fighter down there, which was a nose of stealth over here. I wonder if Eagle thinks it's the same stealth. Did he actually identify that there's actually 2 stealths, or just the 1? Which could be the case. The stealth could attack a target up here. Of course, I don't think Kindle's actually seen the fighter just yet. She does have to, of course, be cautious with the stealths. And Kindle has a Mega Tank last turn. And stealths in the corners, separate corners of the map, so it should be difficult for Eagle to respond to both of them. So it's a good thing that she's splitting them up. And here, infantry. Strikes the anti-air, and that infantry unit there. Strikes another infantry unit there, knocks it out, trying to flip a property. 22,000 versus 22,000 income. Kindle's been maintaining nice lead this game. Tank, tank, tank. APC, is that still alive? I wasn't paying attention too much. Yeah, the APC is still alive. Way up here. Stealth's on 16 fuel, so we'll drain, of course, another 8 fuel next turn. We'll have 8 fuel remaining. So it does need to be resupplied next turn. APC can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the stealth has to pull back next turn and get refueled. Eagle has resigned this turn. And it's Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started next replay, I need to open up the drink next to me. I'm just dehydrated today. Let's see now. Let's see. Oh, yeah, they just did Kindle, so maybe not this one for now. This one's a little on the shorter side. This is a lively game. Yep, I think that should be a good one. Just give me a moment to address some stuff. Yep, definitely a wide map. And yep, I think that should be good enough. Greetings everyone, Angrade here with another Advance Wars 5 Web replay. Spawn south side as the Green Earth Javier, we got Advance Noob. Spawn north side as the Gray Sky Rachel, we got P-Dog 954. Recently one of my coworkers showed me a video, it was like of a kid saying, "Can I pet that dog?" But it was a black bear or a brown bear, like underneath their porch. The kid was thinking it was a dog, like, "Can I pet that dog?" Sorry, that thing just got stuck in my mind. Either way, this is a lively game. I usually just cast a Global League because it's easy to find decent linked replays, but this is in fact Live League. So I'll try to keep an eye on the timer down here and see if it's going to cause any issues. This map is what appears to be a 2-base, it is a 3-base map, 1 airport, very wide, 2 comm town center. Javier only has 1 comm tower, so he gets the plus 10% defense for his day-to-day, but his bigger aspect I've been more and more realizing is the fact that his plus 20% indirect defense is actually very powerful. It really dissuades your opponent from pulling out any indirect fire pieces, whether it be artillery or rockets, so it does force your opponent's composition to be more direct, which is generally still pretty strong, but it also dissuades just certain units to be built. This map's a little bit busy. We do have a shore here, Black Boat on the forest there. We also do have, of course, the forest and shore here, so slow getting on out over here. Also, there's a single pipe scene there, so a pipe runner could be deployed on that single pipe scene. Can't say how effective that would be. And you got a medium tank. Got a lot of tanks over here. You see here, both players are stockpiling up their additional time, 13 to 14. Both players start at 5 minutes in the bank, and each turn they start, they get additional 2. Oh, this is also a high funds map. I did not realize that when I was finding replays. So this is a Live League high funds game, and we got multiple medium tanks on the field, a decent number of medium tanks as well. One comm tower has been obtained for both players. Rachel does have, of course, +1 health repair. I just want pipe runners to be useful. Because let's be frank, most people don't build maps around pipe runners because pipe runners will only have to be, they're designed to be on one thing, to be on top of pipes. And having a map filled with pipes means it's probably a bit more of a laney. I understand why they're just not useful. They're extremely niche in mobility. They're great at mobility, except they're also not. Got a decent amount of tanks in the field, as well as medium tanks. Both sides just loving the medium tanks. 36 of 28. I suppose seeing how, even though it's wide left and right, it's actually pretty not wide up north and south. So in theory, medium tanks slower movement speed wouldn't be too big of an issue. Oh, double force hurts everything. Checkpoint, choke point. Well, a choke point hell would be a result in checkpoints, effectively, means you don't get pushed back to a certain point. What we need is somebody to recreate Straight to Nowhere map that's like in every single massive open RTS, like a Total Annihilation, or what's it called? War Game Red Dragon. It is the Straight to Nowhere. Got to the piece here, and a Neo Tank by Rachel. Neo Tank, medium tank infantry. Has no way to pull out a battle copter yet this game. Weird. Rachel does have 39,000. Bank, 40,000 income per turn. And Dragon 4 does knock out the artillery piece, but I don't think it was worth it. You're sacking a medium tank to take out an artillery piece when there's 2 medium tanks nearby. Retaliation is going to be quite fierce. The Neo tank is ready for reinforcements as well. You know, can test that medium tank. So far, I think that was a bad engagement there by Rachel. She has 15 minutes right now. Javier started off 12. Does look at that tank there. I would say maybe better strike both medium tanks. Do you have no lucky last available? We'll probably will not see that. Gets a good strike up here as well. Pops the tower shield, getting +10/+10 global. Dish plus for activating power and smooth power. Gets +10/+10 global, resulting in +20% +20% global. Additionally, it gets additional 20% indirect attack damage, or receive damage. But Rachel is not to put out any sort of indirect units, while Javier just put out rocket and artillery. Fire to the counter bomber, I understand that. There's no anything on the map, so this fighter has air superiority. And since there's no fog of war, he can be danced around any sort of anti-air opponent field. So Rachel may need to put out her own fire. She almost snubbed for covering fire. Covering fire is available, which will strike first. Let me bring it up again. I always forget exactly what the order is. First is greatest accumulation of foot soldiers, unit HP, and then value. So foot soldier would likely be here. Yeah, it would likely be here. Probably strike right there. Health could be around here, or probably right here. And value would probably be right here again. I guess the value in HP right, and not sure where the foot soldier one landed. It looks like maybe it struck that one. It struck. Oh, it struck right there. So the foot soldier here, value in HP right here. That's a lot of damage. And went from 179,000, 145, calling the value difference to equal. Of course, you're going to spend some time repairing up this rocket. Black Boat, of course, got hit there as well, but that's probably not too big an issue. ATR deployed next to the bomber to protect the bomber. But still always a good idea. If you can take out the bomber with a fighter, it's generally always a good idea. Of course, Rachel does have +10/+10 this turn. And Rachel did end up turn with 5 minutes remaining. Oh. Javier starts his turn with 8 minutes, 38 seconds. Push the Neo Tank next to the opponent's Neo Tank and medium tank there. That's probably a bad position there. Because Neo Tank get a good strike on the Neo Tank, though the artillery piece would retaliate against the medium tank if it moves right there. Probably should put the 2 health medium tank right here to be of a meat shield. Another Neo Tank there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So can't replace that Neo tank there. And looks like she's not eyeing for this Neo tank there. Oh, well, she does pull back a little bit there. Fighter shadowing the bomber. Anti-air, staying off anti-air range as well. Very good. Does have access to tower shield. Ends turn of 117,000 field. Rachel starts turn 102. Slight advantage for Javier then. Additionally, Javier ends turn for 3 minutes 30 seconds. Rachel starts turn 5 minutes, so they're both going to be on time crunches relatively soon. So this is where we're probably start seeing player mistakes, where it's not necessarily entirely their fault due to the time crunch. Got a gun on medium tanks now being pulled out on the left flank. Both sides of good now medium his left tank flank. Down to minute 37. Javier, of course, gets 2 minutes to 5 minutes 30. Pops the tower shield after getting some free power charge there, getting plus 20 global. Put some good holes in these various heavy, valuable assets. Covering fire is likely to be pulled out next turn. That's definitely going to be the infantry and perhaps health. Infantry 1 will strike here. Health, somewhere in this group. And value will probably strike around here. Probably strike right here with the value. Okay. A foot soldier, of course, landing right there. Value may have struck here because fight is actually pretty valuable as well. In health, may have struck over here. Yeah, the rock's on 3 health. So got nice damage across the board, down to 204. Rachel has 186. Getting a lot of good strikes here. Bomber takes up, knocks up the medium tank there. Good strikes on that medium tank. Fighter will strike the bomber. It is slightly wounded thanks to the covering fire, allowed him not to get one-shotted. But 3 health bomber is not too healthy. Could fall back to airport. 1 turn gets up to 6 health. 2 turns up to 9 health. So Rachel could use her day-to-day passive with the bomber. At 3 health, might as well go for 1 turn on the airport. Also, the bomber will take time to get to the airport there, so it can move onto the missile silo platform, get repaired by the black boat, and then be up to 7 health for 1 turn, then up to 10 health after 2 turns. So the black boat could be utilized to repair up the bomber. Also, she ended the turn with 44 seconds. Javier ended turn for 1 minute 37, so this is a time crunch time. Additionally, tower shield can be popped. Oscar strikes there, doesn't mean they could get a good retaliation strike. Bomber just tries to bomb the Neo tank. Fighter gets hit by the ATR, so the fighter should be able to finish off this bomber next turn. We could see a Tower of Power next turn. Power of Power activated, full superpower. Sacks a tank there, allows his medium tank to finish off the Neo tank. Rachel will get a covering fire next turn. Takes the bomber, covering fire is available. Neo tank. Infantry. And Javier ends turn for 1:30. Rachel has 3 minutes available, and here comes a covering fire. Definitely HP here, or foot soldier here. HP could be in this region as well, or could be over here, maybe right around here. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be HP and value right there. HP and value was utilized, hit there, and the foot soldier 1 hit right there. Javier's now at 127,000. Rachel's at 133. She's starting to creep ahead. Neo tank, medium tank, and infantry. Could put the 1 health infantry in front of there, trying to cause against must-meet shields on the field. But it looks like it's not going all too well for Javier over here. Goes for a Neo tank. Another medium tank. Surprising enough, not too many battle copters. Wait, has there been a single battle copter in this game? There hasn't one been there, has there? Can't speak. Only a bomber and fighter turn, no battle copters somehow. What heresy is this? Javier does end his turn with 2 minutes, getting a little bit of stockpile going. Rachel ends her 184,000. Javier has 147,000. Long game goes on, the more of the effects of covering fire will come into play. Power shoes now available. Medium tank. Neo tank, or Neo tank, infantry, and medium tank. And sort of 2 minutes 30 seconds, so he's actually gaining more time because he has less units on the field. Rachel will start turn 3 minutes 50 seconds. Nothing, a decent amount of time to work with. Neo tank, infantry. Shells have 50,000 income. Another tower shield activated. Neo tank, battle copter, artillery piece. A lot of very big core of Neo tanks here. Javier's Neo tanks a little bit less numerous. 122 in the field versus 123, so it's evened out quite a bit. Of course, another covering fire is almost available. Battlecopter. So we've now got a bit of battlecopter support being put on field, as well as another Neo tank. This time he's spreading out his units there. Covering fire. So the infantry 1 will land around here. Infantry 1 rocket will, missile silo will land right here, hitting 3 infantry units there. Value, probably right here. And accumulation health, yeah, it's hard for me to say that one. Though the value 1 could have strike over here as well. Looks like 2 did land over here, hitting the rocket. And the infantry 1 landed 1 over here as well. So it looks like Rachel did manipulate where the covering fire would land. 1 over here. The infantry 1 landed around here. And I think this was the value. Yeah, value here, infantry here, and health around here. So she did manipulate where the infantry one landed and hit the valuable assets. Very nice. Javier did end the turn with 3 minutes 30 seconds, so he's actually stockpiling an additional amount of time. And Rachel did end the turn with 2 minutes, so she's getting more and more advantaged. Or she's not consuming her time entirely, so she has a bit of a stockpile there to work with, and she's doing quite well so far this game, and has more value in the field. Tower Shield has been activated once again, getting plus 20% global. Blackwell could repair up the Neo tank, get up to help, maybe we'll finish off this tank there. Bomber, infantry, resupplies there, does get a strike there, probably realizing, hey, I can get that shot there, allows him to get a full strike on that Neo tank. And start of 123,000, Rachel starts turn of 127, so they're pretty even at the moment, but it feels like it's going more in favor of Rachel. Tank, battlecopter, Neo tank, and something tank. Neo tank gets good first strike there in the Neo tank. Javier starts turn 6 minutes, so he has a very good stockpile in the field. Battlecopter strikes Neo tanks. Medium tank strike, medium tank. Regular tank does not finish that one off there. 2 off Neo tank does. Bomber hitting to the left. Rocket there. You know, Pipe Runner could be a possibility. Pipe Runners don't have much durability, do they? I actually don't know how much damage a regular tank does to a Pipe Runner. Oh, no. Quite a severe amount of damage. Another covering fire has been summoned. I wasn't paying attention to that, but got another covering fire in the field. They struck here. I think the other two struck around here. Able to pick off a lot of valuable assets. Obviously 140,000. Rachel's that up to 250. Now good for Javier. Does pull it out, fire to the counter the bomber. Rocket does base lock himself, so may want to go for a heavier asset like a bomber back here as well. Bomber, tank, medium tank. Rachel's turn, instead of 194, Rachel starts turn 123, or 133. Power Shield is now available. He effectively has this turn to turn the game around. Because he's losing a lot of Neotanks front line. Fighter's Power connects the bombers as well. This is a high funds game, so there's going to be a lot of Neotanks, but both players have gone for a healthy number of medium tanks and Neotanks. Here comes Tower Shield. Let's see, gives him plus 30 plus 30 this turn, which allows him to one-shot these Neotanks pretty easily. And does hit the resign button there. Zangrade saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Before I get started on next replay, I do need to utilize the restroom. Please give me a moment. Apologies, I am back. Let's see, that was this one here. And I heard a bit of a sound bug there. Whenever you hear that, restart the game. I heard it a little bit there. There we go. Quest failed or status, whatever that means. Let's see, give me a moment to adjust the... whatchamacallit? This. This seems reasonable. Out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advance Wars by Web Replay. So on the bottom side as the Pink Cosmos Sasha, we got Silicon Squid. On the north side as the Orange Star Max, we got FB Johanne. Probably butchered that name or not. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. This is a live game map, so I will notify and keep an eye on the timers over here. Additionally, this map is a 3-base map. This one is a little bit forward and, of course, neutral. Despicably neutral. Both sides do have access to a airport as well as a seaport. The seaport is only meant for resupplying the Black Boat and potentially a lander if you still choose one on the field, but probably unlikely. Though, this map does offer a decent amount of shores to creep a transport down south, so it could be useful there. All the other ships, the seaworthy ships, of course, will not be able to leave port. So just assume this is somewhere in middle Europe, where a lot of the landlocked countries are actually not necessarily landlocked because they have access to shipping industry through rivers to the sea. We have now Tank 4, got Tank and Recon up on the field. Recon's also interesting since it's not fog of war, but there is a good number of roads and shores and maps, so Recons have excellent mobility, and of course they are only 4,000, so pretty cheap. Another tank here as well. This Max, or Sasha's tank could get first rank of Max tanks, but of course the repairers and then the... yeah, that one. Don't do that. Not a good idea at this moment. She does have 14,300 funds. She does have day-to-day increase of 100 funds. And Max, of course, get plus 10% firepower on direct units, and indirect units get minus 10% firepower and 1 less range. So, very difficult to use a Max artillery, since it does not provide maximum firepower. This map does support 2 comm towers, and at this current rate, Sasha could claim both, but this is a little bit weak right now. This is like a strong side, weak side mechanic. One base here does have air support, or possible air support, so maybe battlecraft for Sasha this turn would be a good idea. Tank, and infantry. Recon will get machine gun down, and she will get her comm tower next turn. Yep, no way to interrupt it. So she will get plus 10% firepower close to globe as advantage. Max is still pretty far away from getting his comm tower. Now she has plus 10% firepower across the board. Tank, battlecopter, infantry, and base get there. She does have 10 minutes stockpiled in time. Max starts turn of 11 minutes 47, so pretty even. Both players stockpiling a bit of time. And looks like Tank will slowly get whittled down. I'm gonna capture the comm tower now, and we'll fully surround the tank, or the infantry unit there. Tank could, of course, be punched through. This tank is out of range of everything. Battlecopter could hit the infantry unit there. And this infantry unit's out of range, so I think the comm tower will be captured next turn. Don't see any way to reach it. Need to double tap the infantry unit there to allow this particular tank to actually hit it. This battlecopter won't be able to range that infantry unit there. Good damage there, but there's nothing there nearby to finish off. Possibly she could have... no, probably not. Market crash there, of course, denying the max force. Tank will strike tank, another tank will strike forward. I see battlecopter, tank, mech infantry. This is a sea tile, so mechs can't traverse directly up north there, but mech is definitely interesting. Not sure how well the mech will actually be useful. If there's a river here, it would be able to get into the center a little bit easier, but that's not the case. Max push tanks. Sasha has the one tank that can attack this turn, though this one as well. Of course, she does have two battlecopters. This one can easily create a gap as well. Probably hit this infantry unit there. Probably needs to start focusing on this anti-air there, so allow the battlecopters more free range. There's a lot of mass in front of the anti-air at the moment. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way for her to reach that anti-air. This tank will have to be knocked out, which possibly could happen if a battlecopter shot there. Tank strikes infantry unit there, and battlecopter decides to just not enter the area, which is probably a good idea. Battlecopters migrating to the west from the east. Medium tank there to stabilize the region. Just going to just tech up. Probably a very good idea. Sasha ends turn for 84,000 field. Max starts turn 67. So Max is a little bit behind. Got 20,900 versus 18. So approximately has what, 9 there. So she has 19 properties versus 18 properties. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, infantry, infantry. Tank will strike the battle tank there. Takes it out. Battlecopter has to be careful about this. Anti-air. Anti-air is in a very good position there. That anti-air is in range of that battlecopter. And can move on top of the forest as well, easily. So this battlecopter will likely struck this next turn, or this battlecopter as well. Not enough anti-air in the field to deal with both battlecopters. So Max probably just needs to sack the anti-air by taking out battlecopter. And probably needs to get out more anti-air next turn. Got 62,000 versus 70. Or 92,000 versus 70. Pops the max force there, giving a plus 10% additional firepower and of course plus 1 movement. These have plus 10% additional firepower on all direct units. That eventually does get plus 10 global. It's a combination of the mobility and the damage is very nice. Though I think his infantry is also excluded from it. Usually units, CEOs like him excludes foot soldiers, yep. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. He did pop the max force there. Wasn't a very powerful one, but with market crash always possible. He just wants to get it deployed on the field and not have access to his CO power. Medium tank strikes the anti-air. Regular tank finishes it off. She also deploys an artillery piece, which is something Max probably would not deploy on the field in most situations. Medium tank, anti-air, infantry. So Sasha's teched up with 2 medium tanks. Max still has some battlecopters in the field. Sasha does have 2 anti-airs on the field as well. Going for more battlecopters is always a good way to counter out battlecopters. And war bonds can be utilized. War bonds is incredibly difficult to actually get good value from it. War Bonds gives you 50% salvage for what damage you do to your opponent. I highly doubt she's going to go for War Bonds, so here comes a market crash. I said here comes a market crash. There's a market crash. Oh, that's what she's doing. It's like I was wondering. She was trying to get as many kills as possible and damage done to charge his opponent's power charge as much as he can before crashing it. And she got almost a full crash, down to 457.2 force. That's a perfect amount of power charge to remove. She must have done exact math how much power charge she can give her opponent before crashing it. She got a full market crash. And of course, she does give her opponent a little bit of power charge this turn. Tank, and anti-air. And serve for 97,000 field versus 81. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Right now, Max does have 19 properties, so does Sasha, so they're pretty even at that aspect. Max does now have more value in the field versus Sasha, and she does have access to another more crash, so she can get +10/+10 this turn. Though she may get some power charge before that point, both her and her opponent. Anti-air, battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. No more crash this turn, so Max could try to get a power charge going to get the max force available. Maybe we'll get a max force this turn. And pause the max force immediately. Allowing this battlecopter to get not only charged on up, but able to do get +1 mobility. Lost good first strikes there. Oh. What just happened? Looks like, I think what happened was... What happened there is it didn't show the next player turn screen, and she also got superpower at the end of her turn. She could pop her superpower this turn. Generally a bad idea to go for it, but it has a power. Max has a power charge available, so not really worth going for market crash either. And maybe we're gonna just get the market crash going just to get the +10/+10. Because then she'll still have enough for another market crash for the following turn. Goes from medium tank, infantry, or anti-air, and base skip. Battlecopter, Neo Tank. Medium tanks, of course, can engage Neo Tanks. And striking it could be a good, decent target for War Bonds, but taking out a Neo Tank will give her 11,000 funds, which is nice. For me, I never say certain CO powers you should never use, but hey, I understand why people don't go for them. With, like, for example, Kindle, her powers is excellent, and her superpower is just good. In Sasha's case, her power is excellent. Her superpower is lackluster. It's probably pretty much useful in high funds games, and there's going to be a big cataclysmic fight. You want to try to get a pretty big grief on there. Doesn't have the power there, nuking all of Max's power charge. Instead of 111 or 112,000. And Max does have an income lead of 200 funds. Tank anti-air. And I've not been paying attention to the player's times this entire game. Max is down to 12 seconds. So Max is scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to turns. Sasha does have 4 minutes right now. She ended the last turn with 2 minutes remaining, so she has plenty of time in this game. Managed to pick off multiple battle copters her. And this is where the part where Max may make tactical errors due to the lack of time. Pops and market crash. Well, he doesn't have to worry about thinking when to pop his Max Force. If he has it, pop it immediately. Max's turn has 2 minutes 12 seconds. Sasha ends turn 101 minutes 16. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Ends turn for 11 seconds. Yeah, Max is scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to time left. Sacks the battlecopter there amongst some infantry units there, draining all the power charge immediately. Just on chain market crash right now. Max will probably not get another superpower this turn, though she is getting pretty expensive for market crashes. Medium tank, battlecopter goes straight forward, gets a good strike there. Pops the Max Force. Does pick up some outlying units there. And Sasha did end her turn, but got timed out at her end of her turn. So now both players scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to time. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Instant get turn of 2 minutes. So Sasha has 2 minutes this turn to make something happen. Meteor, tank, infantry. 4 seconds. Medium tank. Infantry. Sasha ends starts turn of 97,000. Max ended turn of 89 and 4 seconds. So yeah, it's probably just scraping the bottom of the barrel of time each game now. Medium tank, infantry. Good strike there. Sasha does have good number of medium tanks to field, but Max as well, and a power of course will increase their movement range by 1. Market crash is available, so you may get her deploy market crash this turn. Medium tank will strike the regular tank and the regular tank as well. Max doesn't have anything to stop the medium tanks in his flank. And Sasha is pouring the medium tanks in the middle, so you may be able to go towards the opponent's HQ. Battlecopter. And a turn with 20 seconds, a little bit more than they've been having. Nothing too great though. Battlecopter's getting some good damage there on those medium tanks. Does strike that medium tank there. Other medium tanks rotating around. Battlecopter, tank, and base skip. Black Bolt was definitely put in the wrong position there. This is him starting to make some errors. Not enough money for the base and put a Black Bolt right there when probably could try pushing this one a little bit. That's good strikes there. Battlecopter on battlecopter. Does not take it out. Does get machine. No, doesn't go down. That's probably close to 1% health right now. Battlecopter. Infantry. And it's turn her for 1 second, so she's back to the bottom of the barrel. As I the mark crash, we're probably going to see it deployed next turn. Let's see, should just pop immediately or should take time to sack stuff. Now that's probably a good target at least. She is now hidden income once again, so they have equal amount of properties. Strikes both those medium tanks there, pops the market crash, good enough when it comes to bleeding up power charge. Also 29,000 there, so she might be going for a Neo tank. Neo tank. Starts turn 73, ends turn 116. Good damage there. Medium tank strikes the anti-air, and there's well. Does go ahead and resign this turn. Does Angrade say anything? Watch him, and on to the next replay. I probably have enough in me for one more replay tonight. I'm not 100% today. So, one last Live League game, which looks like it's I don't have to make any adjustments to zooming in on the stream side. So, either way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. This is a live league game, and it's also Fog of War. This is what appears to be a 2-base map with one airport, with your opponent having a missile on top of it. I'm seeing your opponents. The airport's actually just off the side, so it's not necessarily. I'm assuming this player goes up here to get it. Probably mech is probably the best way to dislodge the missile. The missiles do also offer excellent range, 5 tower range. And yeah, there's also paracom powers, decent amount of roads, decent amount of forests, and decent amount of plains and property in the center. So either way, I have a feeling it's going to be a game where players try to rush a mech into the airport relatively quickly. But that's just a hazardous guess. Either way, spawn top side as the fire red Max, we got Mings. Spawn south side as the Silver Claw Olaf. We got Cyrillic guy. Oh, I butchered that name well enough. Either way, let's get started. Of course, this initial capturing game, nothing too significant. Perfect time to start storing up some extra time. You don't need to spend 2 minutes each turn moving a handful of infantry units there. But Max has gone for recon, so does Olaf. And they're both on the same side as well, so maybe the recons will find each other. Another recon deployed out by Olaf. Max goes for a mech this turn. Maybe trying to displace that missile. Even artillery, 2 turns from the closest to the start shooting the missile. Didn't really count how many turns there. That may be a better way to dislodge the missile. Tank infantry. Yeah, and maybe mech is a bad idea because it takes for a mech just get down there. Recon in the forest here, fighting some good spotting. Got 2 recons here, another tank and APC there. This may be for the mech. And the thing is, well, when it comes to artillery, of course, what's his name? Max does, of course, have poor artillery. But I am a bit curious as well. How bad would a Max artillery do? Will do at least 50% damage, so it would be a reliable 2-shot to hit the missile there if you put a Max artillery there. But of course, that would be a Max artillery you have to do to have for the rest of the game. Which can be a surprise. Olaf can go for artillery. It'll be useful once he cleans the missile and after. Max did go for a strike there, interrupts the capture, but does get retaliated upon. Does have vision of the tank there, so this Max recon should fall back maybe to this forest here. And the APC is actually on the front side of this mountain, or on the back side, where I think I thought he was going to push the mech to the missile. Another tank infantry. $49,000 versus 50 versus 57. Okay, meaty busted. My theory both gets mechs. Yeah, but the mech is not exactly going to a straight path to a missile, so I'm not sure. The mech is clearly going straight for this missile here. I suppose maybe not went forward. I suppose, or no, just went straight down. Medium tank infantry. And the mech is creeping its way forward towards the missile. They'll be there in 2 turns. Both of their mechs be in range of 2 turns. Of course, Max did not go for an APC, which means he has a bit more funds on the field. So not really, got 70,000 versus 63. Good strike there. Turns out the entry there, does get a tank on tank. He's got another tank over here, but he does have a tank over here as well. Medium tank from the left side. Recon has still good spot there. Joint captures there, down to 4 capture progress. Possibly will get wiped out because I see 2 health infantry units there, and one of these units could just be sacked there, plus Recon itself. So don't think Max will get the comm tower this turn. Didn't actually fully stop it, so it can do another joint capture. Recon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has vision of that medium tank. It does do a joint capture there, but could be interrupted with this healthier one there. Does miss this tank there. Mech strikes missile. Blizzard's now available, and Mech strikes missile. Of course, that also gives both each other quite a bit of extra power charge. We got another mech there. So with this APC, when I continuously push mechs inside the map, very nice. Of course, got a medium tank here. Tank on tank. This tank could fall back a little bit there and hit the captain squad with the medium tank strike the regular tank. Mech destroys missile. Tank falls back entirely. Maybe I'm ready to send that 3 off tank into that 4 off tank. Just pulls back a little bit there to get some forward repairs. Tank. And we do have Max Blast Zones available as well as a Blizzard. When it comes to Max's superpower, he could eye for 1-2 punch. He doesn't have to go for a max force. He can simply go for 2 max, or he doesn't have to go for 1 max blast. He can try eye 2 max forces. And we may see Winter Fury this turn. Just needs a little more damage done. Need to inflict and almost got it, 700. You could sack some infantry units there to get the Winter Fury and does not. So Winter Fury elected to go out next turn, pops a full max force for maximum firepower. Max does have 20 minutes right now storing up. So a very big amount of time there. Well, Olaf ends turn 14. It's not too bad. Sword Captain there, but will be interrupted by the Winter Fury. Does get trapped there. Does not spot the recon there. Mech will get a good strike there onto the medium tank. It'll be cost effective, but it just won't be great. And here comes the Winter Fury. Max now down to 66,000. Olaf's at 64. Max should be eyeing to be a bit more aggressive in this game, because the longer the game goes on, the Winter Fury will start whittling down even more. Only got 1 point of damage on that medium tank. That does not seem right. Well, I guess that's right. I think the passive +10/+10 really kicked in. No, not too bad. Had to roll a higher luck to want to get an extra point of damage, but still, it seemed a little bit low. Hits the capping infantry in there, nothing to join capture with, so Gonna need another infantry over there to start trying to continue capturing that comm tower. Olaf does have his comm tower, or a comm tower. Infantry. Oh, infantry, and with 8,000 in the bank. He has 15,000 income for 16, so maybe time for something a bit more expensive next turn. Tank. Bit of a merge there. And Neotank base skip. Has 93,000 field. Olaf starts from 90 to 86, so Olaf does have a slight advantage for stay today. There's some outlying units there, so Neotank would like to head down south and threaten down south. Another mech upon the field. Pushing forward multiple mechs with the APC, very nice. And does for Battlecopter. And we do have an anti-air there. Turn 16 anti-air. I suppose one of the few maps where you can say you don't have to go for an early anti-air. Artillery anti-air as well. So it looks like he's just trying to get out multiple anti-airs. He's going to expect Max to go for a large number of battlecopters this game, I'm guessing. But also 2 battlecopters or anti-airs on the same side of the map, which makes sense. That's where the airport is. You don't have to split up the anti-airs. You have a good idea where the battlecopters will come from. Recon Battlecopter. That's interesting. I was not expecting double recon this turn. Strikes the interrupts the capture of the comm tower and does not fully stop it. And that anti-air is in range of a tank here. And as well, that's his infantry unit there. It can range that anti-air, but it's on top of forest. So if he pays close enough attention, he will see the anti-air that goes in the forest, but needs a way to spot it first. Which he could smash the medium tank with the Neo tank. Olaf and start 133,000. Max starts the turn with 113. I think we're going to see Neo tank hit medium tank at a bare minimum this turn, and that could allow him to perhaps take it out with a regular tank. But there's also this medium tank here as well. So this medium tank will get double tapped. Oh, with a regular tank there. Strikes the recon there. I wonder if he will spot the anti-air. Looks like he will not put a round into the anti-air, so that anti-air will take out Battlecopter. Double anti-air there. They both need to head leftwards, and this anti-air will take out one of these Battlecopters. Just move on to the road, be safe, but decides to be a bit of a game ball going to the fog of war. Many battlecopters on the left flank, so Olaf now has 3 battlecopters and many mechs. Dubious fight to fight into airport range for the comm tower. No, he whoops, actually hit the back button. It is, of course, the comm tower he already has secure, so he has to protect it. Which Indians, of course, are very good at stealing battlecopters. But yeah, I understand. But also, there's a good amount of tanks here as well. Max has a massive force of tanks in this region. Good number of regular tanks, a Neo tank, and medium tanks somewhat close by. While over here, Olaf does have a very good number of mechs being pushed forward by the APC, many battlecopters, and a small other supporting mountain units. Winter Fury is almost available, so is another Max Blast. Max can help nullify the effects of Winter Fury by going superpower and or power. But right now is an issue of the Winter Fury is not available. And I don't think he should pop Max Force or Max Blast until he gets proper spotting in this region, which he doesn't appear to have. So the medium tanks are now in force, and they can of course recover their mobility with the effect of Max Force or Max Blast. And here comes the Winter Fury. Max will go from 130,000 to 104. Not to mention, Max's battle copters will have slow movement this turn, movement range reduced by half, and Olaf actually went for a rocket along the flank. Maybe trying to go a little bit desperate. There is a decent choke point there to withstand from. Max Blast is now available, which allows him to get pushed forward with 2 medium tanks in this region. Recon's already providing some good spotting. Interrupts the capture there. Has got captured his opponent's comm tower and vice versa. Well, we see the Max Force and Max Blast. I can see an argument for both. Let's see what he goes for. He moves an infantry unit or mech. Is he not going for either? He may be trying to wait out the winter. Yeah, it looks like he's playing defensive, trying to wait out the winter. It also prevents the +10/+10 there, but of course during his superpower, his opponent will start getting power charge. And this rocket is in range of a Neo tank as well. Good strikes there from indirects. Nothing too much left here in Max's front. He has front shift quite a bit, trying to nail this force up here. We also got shores here, so this area is perfectly traversable. He does pull back in this region there. Good pull back there. Spots, he may not be able to pop his power this turn, or superpower. Does get trapped there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's out of range of the rocket. That's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, there's a 3 health tank. Recon tank. Ends turn for 133,000 on the field. All starts turn 145. Ends a turn with 24 minutes to bank, so he's even getting more time. Olaf starts turn 16, so has a decent amount of time to bank as well. So time has not been an issue this game for either player. It is a 2-base map rather than 3-base map, so it's much smaller forces, which is probably a big reason why they're not timing out as quickly, or at all. Far from it. And now we may see the Max Blast. Got the Max Blast now active there, getting +2 movement range, increasing direct fire damage up to 50%. Of course, get +10/+10 global. And +2 movement range for direct units as well. Long infantry for everything. One shots the mech, puts a sizable round there, takes out that mech there. Battlecopter strikes the medium tank there. Tank strikes artillery, other artillery piece is in the forest. Strikes this artillery piece there as well. Tank strikes ATR. Tank strikes artillery. ATR strikes battlecopter, spots the rocket, won't be able to contest it. Not enough units to punch through the ATR into the artillery into the rocket. Winter Fury is now available. This will stabilize Olaf a bit. He starts turn for 86,000. Max ends turn 138. And there's going to be going 20% of both Max's forces in 3, 2, 1. Hold it down to 109. And that's the resign button. Either way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. As I mentioned beforehand, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. That shall do it for